Hi, everybody. Jody Brozick here with head coach Dan Aaker of the Winter Warriors. Dan, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing, Jody?
I'm ready for some postseason football.
Yeah, we're ready to play some football.
So first thing I want to talk about, you've had a week and a half off. I want you to reflect on your body of work for this 2019 Warriors season that went 8-0.
Yeah, when I look back and I thought we started at a probably higher level than I thought. We knew we were going to have a pretty good team coming. But we started out really playing good football. And we looked at the line of scrimmage in particular, inexperienced and young, how will they come along, and probably some growing pains. I'm not saying there wasn't, and still are. But, we just got off to really good starts in the first part of our season in particular. And really played really good football. Going in, we talked about this year really wanting to be defensive led and really focused on that, and turnovers being a big part of that. And the turnovers have been really good. It's transferred in a lot of the way we did our practice this year. You can say those things, but if you don't intentionally work on them, the kids are just thinking you just said those things. So we do turnover circuits every day, and I put a big focus on that, and really I think taking pride on shutting some teams down. And our offense has played really well too. We've had big playability. That's another one of the goals I thought, because just looking over the history when we've had our better teams, it's been turnovers and big plays, and that's at all levels. But if you can get those two things to work in your favor, you're probably going to be pretty successful. And we've been able to do that. We battled some injuries early, which I think turned into depth, good rotations, and healthy right now, which is big. But we're a pretty deep football team in a lot of positions right now, and we got to be smart as coaches to be able to utilize that. But had really good leadership from our seniors. I've said this numerous times. I feel this group is pretty hungry. They see the big picture, and they play for each other. That's probably the most important thing. We mentioned that in last week's interview, that pretty tight group and on the same page. So really happy with the regular season we had. We did everything we could to put us in a position to where we're at, and everything else just kind of falls into place. And now you focus on one game at a time right here and who you got. And so we're excited. We've got a little break here. I still think maybe the Miller game getting moved back helped us. I was kind of excited to have the bye week at the end until it finally came here, and then you don't really have. We had some things we needed to work on, but it shortened that up a little bit. So we really only had a couple of days where we just did a lot of breakdown, and probably the guys probably liked it even better because those weeks of almost like a 2-a-day atmosphere, kind of a grind, was needed. But I think it worked out good. And then when we find out we got lead, we just start focusing on them and get ready for tonight.
So your team you referenced, they finished 8-0. They tied in power points for the number 1 seed. Talk to the fans real quick. A lot of questions about the criteria that put us number 2.
Yeah, so when it comes to a tie, I think there's 7 different steps that it goes to, and we got to 6. We were tied all the way to 6, and then it was the average of our opponent's power points and Bridgewater's average of their opponent's power points. And then I didn't actually sit down and do it. We kind of looked at that and kind of went, oh yeah, they're probably going to get us there. If that would have been a tie, then it actually goes to a draw or a coin toss. But we kind of expected that when we saw that we would probably tie, and then looking at the criteria, would probably end up losing them to them. So that's kind of how that played out. Yeah.
End result is you're the number 2 seed, and as long as you control your destiny, you're at home. How does that make you feel?
Well, I think it's always, I wouldn't say relaxing, but it's comforting, I guess, to play at home. There's I really feel some home field advantage in any sport. We enjoy playing at Warrior Field. We enjoy rewarding our fans to not have to travel. I think that we'll have great turnouts, and we probably would if we were on the road too. But it's a little bit different. You don't have to get on a bus, and there's a little more routine there, and somebody's got to come here, which is never an easy task. So we feel pretty fortunate and pretty happy, I think, to gain that home field advantage, and hopefully it's something we use to our advantage as well.
You referenced Lead Deadwood's here in town this evening. Who are the Lead Deadwood Golddiggers? What should we expect?
Yeah, they've been able to score a lot of points in a few games. They've also given up a lot of points in a few games. I think they like the up tempo. I think they would prefer kind of a shootout type thing. I think they they play as well as their offense is kind of played. When you look at it, they want to be a shotgun team. They want to be a jet sweep play action, kind of wide open type offense. The last two games, Woonsocket, Western Springs, and Custer, so they have a bye. They're coming off a bye week too, so it's the same schedule they had the last week off too. Were really weather related and not probably been able to do what they would typically like to do. They were a little more under center and maybe running it. Not that they don't run it, but I just kind of watch them. I think they'd rather be shotgun and have some options with some of their athletes. So number 22 is the kid we need to be worried about. He's a big player. And they'll have him at running back. They'll have him at slot. They'll run jets with him. They'll send him deep. They want to go to him, and so we got to be very conscious of him and not give up that big play. Defensively, they were a 3-4 for 7 games, and then they go up against Custer and change things up. And I think probably some of the stuff Custer was running, but so we prepared for the two things we've seen from them. They blitz a ton, and that's been our biggest focus from offenses. We got to recognize blitzers, and we got to pick blitzers up. If we do that, now they're taking the chances of some big plays being given up too. So offensive line is going to be a big thing communicating. I think we've picked up some tips to see when they're coming, and they're not really hiding it. They're going to kind of show that you're coming, and that communication of how we need to adjust to that is going to be critical. But as always, line of scrimmage is going to be important. I really feel that we have maybe an edge there, and we got to prove that tonight. And the big thing right now, we talked at this stage of the year with our guys, is regular season you always have tomorrow. You really do. You have another game, and you don't now. I mean, it's, we go out on the pre-game practice, and I always remind them, let's make sure this is not our last practice, because it can be over to snap of a finger. So we had a nice week of practice, Jody. We really did. Weather was not good Monday, and those are sometimes you go up and you're going, are you going to get anything accomplished? And it wasn't a great practice. It was driving, rain, cold, windy. We got a decent practice and got some things accomplished, but we came back on Tuesday and had one of the sharper practices we've had all year. So I really feel that we're ready for the first round playoff, and we just got to play well. Special teams can be kind of important tonight. They have a really good kicker. They'll kick field goals, and he's good enough to kick it in the end zone, but he's also good enough to, pooch, squib, onside. So those some of the special team units are going to have an important role tonight too. But good start, play good, leave it out there. That's what you're looking at this stage of the game.
11B, the brackets are set. Who do you see as teams likely to come through the other quarter brackets?
Yeah, I think there's some good games tonight. I really do. I think Elk Point, Jefferson, St. Thomas, and more. Who will see if we win tonight, would see the winner of that game. That's going to be a good game. I think the long road trip could affect Elk Point, but I think pretty even squads. Chamberlain MVP is interesting, even though MVP has had their number. But, one of those times those things kind of change. I think the start of the game is probably big for that. We haven't seen first-round matchups necessarily that great, except for maybe one region. The new format has kind of added a little flair to it. Yeah. And the quarterfinals, I think, will be the same way. And what I like about it is the chance of seeing different teams. We haven't played Leeds since 2005, I think. So it's been a while since we've seen them. You still got the chance of possibly seeing an Elk Point maybe next round, or St. Thomas More, who we played. And as you look down farther the brackets, his favorites start winning. A lot of interesting matchups going to happen. So, yeah, Mobridge and Garrettson's an interesting game. I think Garrettson's battle tested. Some of those teams that have played really tough schedules, they're not going to lay down for some of the top seeds. So, be interesting to see how it all plays out tonight. But so far, the new format is interesting, to say the least. Yeah.
Last question. You kind of reflected upon it earlier. How did your turnover and touchdown club go this year?
Well, it's been pretty good. We're not done yet.
Yeah, I know.
We're not done yet. But no, we appreciate those pledges. We've scored a lot of points, but our big focus, as I said, were turnovers, and we'd like to get. Theoretically, our goal is always 3 a game, which would put us at 24 for the regular season. I think we ended up at 19. So that's over 2 a game, and we'll take that. We only turned over 4 times. So turnovers are the most important stat in football at every level, and for us to advance here, that's going to be a big one. But we keep hopefully adding to those totals.
Good luck tonight. Yeah.
Thanks, Jody.